All right. Joe, Piper, and Corey with you. Sunday chat. It doesn't feel like it.
I don't think
but
I'm more of a voice actor, anyways.
Definitely.
He's got the third one on the bottom of each. It's a voice actor.
Oh.
So first, I did go and try to buy a new mic to improve the audio quality. Don't have any of the right cables. I told the guy what I was trying to do. He said it would work. He is full of it. So I don't know. We're trying one of the things my buddies told me to try to see if it'll help the audio. That's why we're a little closer together. I don't imagine it's going to work because our mics suck. But
it's all right. We'll just get like right here when we're talking. Is it on?
Yeah, it's on.
Okay, it's on.
So bear with us. We're trying to improve it. First thing I wanted to talk about this week is that this week is Max Week and Redline Week.
Joe, what's Redline Week?
Well, it is what you think it is. So you're gonna push as hard as possible. If you haven't looked ahead, it's in the notes on Monday. Corey and I have been talking, and we think strategy has become a little too much a part of our culture. Yes. So we took all the notes out of the workouts. There are 3 or 4 levels. Our suggestion is that you choose one. No deviation from it. If you look at one level and, man, I can't do 20 toes to bar. Next level down. Now, I don't want you to go, okay, well, somebody should probably hit this in 2 sets, so I'm going to do 2 sets. No. I want you to go down to the next level. I want you to, for lack of a better term, suggest overscaling this week and hammering it to your absolute ability. Blow up before the end, take a second, rest and recover, and then move with however much energy you have left for the rest of things. Don't think about how big of a set. Go until you can't do another rep.
I say that intensity there, like that's how we make progress, especially for like my athletes who have said maybe they feel like they've plateaued. Like if you feel like you've plateaued, one of the easiest ways to progress and get better is to scale back stuff and then just hammer it as hard as you can.
Yep. Separate your skill and metabolic conditioning sessions.
Yep. And if the workout has toes to bar and you can't do the sets, so you have to scale it after class. If you still got some gas left in the tank, which you shouldn't. But take a rest, grab some water, do your thing, and then we can work on maybe some skill, maybe some toes to bar skill after class or something. So you can still get that practice.
I just in this unrelated. Y'all didn't give me the memo that we were drinking C4 this morning. I could have gone with my C4 cherry, and we all could have been. It could have looked like we were sponsored.
I feel like we.
C4, if you want to sponsor us next week, we'll make sure to do it. Otherwise, this isn't C4. It's just water in a can.
Yeah. Blur this out, Joe.
Yeah. Blur your logo out. Yeah, they are very. My friend was like, "Hey, just sync up audio and video and post production. That's easy." And I'm like, "You assume there's post production?
Totally.
There is. Edit it out our goofiness at the beginning and hit upload to YouTube, and even that sometimes befuddles me." So yeah, I mean, I'm sure it's not. I have anxiety about stuff like that, and I told a Facebook story about it. Like, I had never changed a windshield wiper, and I was like 38, 39 years old. Windshield wiper went out. I had to change it, and I had anxiety about it. I'm like, I'm 39 years old, and I don't know how to change windshield wiper, right? And all I did is I went to the store and bought the wiper and changed the windshield wiper. It wasn't hard, but just the fact that I never encountered it, I put up these hurdles that weren't there. That said I couldn't do it. And all I really needed to probably do is Google one thing, like how to edit video, and I'll be good to go. And it's just not that complicated. And I think while that doesn't seem like it applies to fitness, it's kind of the same thing. We put up all these imaginary hurdles that stop us from doing what we really need to do, when we really just need to show up and do it.
Third question on the board. You want to start with it?
Oh, yeah. So, It's strange where conversations take you. But yeah, that's all the real impression or intention is with Redline Week. It's also next week. So we're gonna retest our bench press, deadlift, back squat, and hit some metcons. I'll be honest, some of the metcons would benefit from strategy, but one of them's even like partition how you want, right? So that's right in the top of your head. Strategy. And I was talking to your wife yesterday about it, and I was like, people are going to have to decide how they want to break up that workout. Yeah. But they should absolutely break it up in the way that terrifies them.
Yeah. And that's like if you're looking at it and you have a strategy that you're like, this is what I'm comfortable with. Mm-hmm. Redo it.
Yep.
Don't do it like that. If you know that big sets of wall balls blow you up, do big sets of wall balls. Yeah. I don't know what the workout is.
Yeah, so the one know what it is. It's 1600 meter run or 100 shuttle runs, which technically 100 shuttle runs is less. And 80 toes bar. Break up or partition how you want. So, right, what I'd probably do if I was doing that was 420. Right. But what I should probably do is like 5 shuttle runs and 4 toes bar. Yeah. Because that's going to be unbroken. For me, that's going to be unbroken the entire way, and it's going to hurt. It's going to be rough. I think if I did 10 shuttle runs, or I think we said that'd be like a 200 meter run and 10 toes to bar, or 8 toes to bar, I think is what it was, because that gives you 10 sets.
You break it up.
There'd be a chance. Yeah. I wouldn't push the run because I don't know how safe or how fresh or safe I'd be going into 8 toes to bar over and over and over again towards the volume.
So you're saying by cutting it, like there's undoubtedly no reason to break it up other than
because I can grind and I can strategize and I can push at that 70%, 80% pace. I can't hit 90 normally on my workouts. So what do I need to do? I need to make that workout a 90% workout.
You need to drop the reps so you can hit 90.
Yeah.
Hold 90. Yeah. No, I like
that. Right now it's slated for Tuesday. I again wrote this on Monday. I'm not giving away any state secrets here. That we may move to Wednesday. The temperature's supposed to go up like 15 degrees. So that way you could run outside and be a little nicer. I'm not saying it's going to be gorgeous, but it'll be a little bit better.
It's supposed to be 60.
Yeah. Well, that's for the afternoon classes. Morning classes.
Yeah, morning classes
they're
going to
wear some jackets. Or do some shuttles.
Or do some shuttle runs, regardless of what day it's on.
Yeah. 1 shuttle run and 1 toast bar. That's unbroken the entire time.
100 or 80
Don't think
rounds.
that's going to end you with 80 shuttle runs and 80 toast bar, and then you're going to have 20 shuttle runs.
And I can crank out 20 shuttle runs. Or open with it.
Yeah. And this leads into the other thing. The open's done. You have your percentile ranking, right? Corey, what should they do with a percentile ranking? Or Piper, I guess. Yeah, although you haven't been in our prep.
I'll say she hasn't been in the combos. Piper's been sick, so she's out of the loop this week. Also, if we get sick, Piper's taking over the gym.
Sorry,
you better cover that. Okay. What was the question? Oh, the question is what should they do with that? Yeah. They should use that and apply that to our class workouts.
Yes,
that's a perfect way to figure out basically how you should be hitting the workouts, whether you're doing the affiliate comp, which is new, the RX version of the workout, or scaled version.
Yeah.
Hit them with it.
And so
the percentages, I don't want to throw the percentages on.
Yeah. I'm applying this to me because we're starting new advice. So I'm kind of using me as a guide. I think affiliate compete, if you were top 10%, so 90th percentile or above, you should more often than not look at affiliate compete.
We said, so if we'll say Piper finishes top 10%, how many days a week should she be doing? If she's feeling good, if things are going.
And that's going to come something like, is she handling her recovery?
Right. And we'll say,
you're green, you're feeling good.
Yeah, she's getting enough sleep, she's eating right, she's drinking enough water.
You're taking your rest days.
Are we looking at 5 days, 6 days a week?
I see no reason why not.
Yeah. I agree.
If you're 75th and above, well, let me restate. If you're 80% and above, you should most likely be RX. Most of the time. If you're 70% and above, it's a decision.
I'd say like a wheelhouse workout.
Wheelhouse workout.
I'm right there with 71%.
Yeah. And so you're going to find some workouts
that's what it is. Like, you have your wheelhouse workouts that you can hit as prescribed, and then you also have some weaknesses that you have to say.
Anything below 70%, I feel pretty confident in saying you should stay in scale, whether it's the volume, whether it's the actual movement, whether it's the weight. More likely than not, every one of your workouts is going to have to be scaled to some degree.
And there are outliers, but they're few and far between.
And what I would say, even on the 70%, right, is let's have an Echo Bike sprint day, where all we're doing is Echo Bike sprint, rest, recover. Any single person, day one, can do it.
Right.
But they can't do it the way that workout is meant to be done. Yeah. And so and I say this, and I don't think people listen to me all the time, but that is, if you regularly scale our workouts, when you come in and you see a workout and you're like, oh, finally I can hit that RX. You shouldn't be hitting that RX. Nothing changed magically in 12 hours, 24 hours. Now, if we're talking about 3 months or 6 months, yes, that's our goal to progress. But if you ever want to progress, you have to hit scale.
Yeah. And like, again, like, just the outliers. If Joe came to me and he was like a competitive cyclist, that's all he did was ride bikes.
Yeah.
For days and days and years and months. Like, the chances are you could probably hit some Echo Bike sprints, but for the most part, everything he does needs to be scaled.
I still think it's going to ruin your life.
Oh, it
competitive cyclist versus, like,
it's
if
different.
you're like a incline cyclist, Tour de France, okay. I'm not going to tell you can't handle our Echo Bike sprints.
Yeah.
But if you are the Ironman and you're long distance cycling,
oh yeah,
boy, you're
in for a rough time.
You're in for a rough ride on the Echo Bike the first time.
So yeah, and I would say, like, once we get those levels back, it would be an easy way, depending on your level, to kind of decide. We could apply those percentages to levels too. Maybe next year.
Yeah, and I think CrossFit will give out the levels.
So yeah, maybe next
year.
Like,
I was a level 6 Masters athlete, level 5 overall. I was hopeful that was going to go up. I don't think that's going to go up this year for me. It goes up to level 10. I think basically if you advance, you're automatically a level 8.
Yeah, if you qualify for quarters, you're an 8, and then depending on how quarters go.
Quarters and semis, you can bump up to 9.
Yeah,
Games is 10, basically.
Yeah, I don't really know the ranking system because I've never done quarters.
I mean, I feel like they need to have more numbers.
I feel like they gave 8 really easy, like, not easily, but like 8 was a really high number.
And then there's not much difference between 8 and 10.
Yeah, I feel like 10 is a games athlete, so it's like, what?
And I also feel, and I'm just going to be honest, like, if we want to go based off percentile and cheer that to your numbers, like, you made 90th percentile, you're a 9.
That would be pretty wild.
I think it's just an arbitrary number to be an arbitrary number. Like, again, I'm a level 5 or a level 6, but I'm 76th percentile.
That does seem complicated.
There just doesn't seem to be a real correlation there.
It's like the people in the 10s are probably wouldn't submit all the scores unless they've already been removed. Yeah, unless they've already been removed from the leaderboard.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know how low you can go on the number. I assume it's 5 because that's me. Like, I get the email for CrossFit earlier this week, and they're like, "Hey, thanks for participating in your 7th Open." It's like, cool, thanks, CrossFit.
You went out and you did stuff.
You tried really hard. It's the gold star. I'm just like, that stings. I deleted that email, but I'm sure I can find it someplace. I just want to print that and hang that up.
Wait, did you guys already get emails on your ranking?
Not my ranking.
Oh, okay.
I just got a thing for participating.
So I think most people.
I didn't get one of those.
So I think, and Jordan was another one that was like that. And I've heard from a couple other athletes. Some athletes got an email that said, based on current scores, it appears as though you will qualify for quarterfinals. Here's some things to know. Our email was, hey, thanks for participating. The next stage of the CrossFit Games is the quarterfinals. Yeah. Here's some things to know.
I haven't gotten a single email from CrossFit.
Well, that means your email is probably wrong, or you have your spam filter set up wrong. Again, Jordan was another one. There was some people on the Mayhem affiliate board talking about it. And my advice was, hey, man, just email CrossFit. Now, that said, the official invites come out Monday. But if you don't get that invite, if you haven't gotten any other emails this season about score verifications,
I've got emails about like you verifying your score.
then there's a shot that you'll get it on Monday. But if you don't, you're going to need to look into your account and manage
That's probably what it is. They're like, wow, he did so decently mediocre that we're going to have to drug test that guy.
Yeah. So that was where the random things came up this week that I want to talk about. Corey had posted on the board, just basically saying we were hoping for more engagement from our captive audience of 4.
50?
We had 20 something. Did we have 50 views?
We did have a lot of comments. I think we only had like 35 or 40 views. If the audio was real rough.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go out and say that anyone that commented on the thread that I posted, the post I made, if they don't watch the video, I'm giving a disclaimer that I'm gonna fight them.
I can't actually see the views. I can only see that they're actually unique views. You can't see.
I'm gonna quiz everyone that asks questions and say, hey.
So we gotta tell a joke or something right now.
I would say, hey Stacy, come here. What's the secret word? And if she watches this, she'll know the secret word is aardvark, and she won't get caught. Yeah. I feel like of all the people,
I did that in Sugarwalk before on the notes.
I remember
the opposite of the strategy. Yeah. I was like, hey, if you read this,
comment
right or like put it a apple emoji.
Yeah, I remember.
And everybody did that, and then the people that didn't read the notes were like, what's going on with this apple?
Yeah, what's going on? All right, the secret word is aardvark. I know. Yeah. We're writing that in the books. I'm going to forget the secret word.
I was going to say 0% chance I remember. All right, first question. We're just going to go down in order.
We went in order because we couldn't find a good way of answering these questions. Without
favoritism or
ruffle and feathers. So we were like order. So the first question I believe was from Chad.
I don't know who it was from. I know what it is, assuming you wrote it down properly.
What is it?
When and why did you start CrossFit?
When and why?
So I think we've already kind of covered this in the previous video.
We covered it a little bit, yeah.
Back when we had 20 views, so maybe we'll bump this up. But and Piper kind of covered it on her introduction, but I guess let's start there. Go over it real quick.
I started CrossFit 2 years ago. Here, roughly exactly 2 years ago.
And that's where Piper.
Yeah. Sorry, well, it was here.
Edit that out.
I think it was the first week of the Open in 21, because I came in on a Friday and talked to Joe, and I remember seeing the workout on the whiteboard and going, damn, don't want to do that.
That was back when we had a whiteboard.
Many changes.
It was like the box jumps and the snatches. Anyways.
Those whiteboards CrossFit workout.
I didn't do it. I didn't work out that day. I think I came in on Monday. But I had finished my senior season of high school swim, and I had to finish club swimming in high school, and I decided I didn't want to swim in college. So I kind of needed something to fill the 6 months of time that I had until starting at Mizzou, and then potentially onward, and it has continued onward. And Kinsey recruited me because I met her through work, and so she was always showing me her ripped hands, and I think that summer she up her leg on a rope climb, and I just remember seeing how disgusting it was and going, sure, I'll try it.
I want to do really that. Fun. I really want my hands and shins to look like that.
Yeah.
Oh, kids, we worked so hard to get her to not tear her body apart on rope climbs.
Dude, she came into work and it was like this fat. Anyways, I had to dress it. I remember that. But yeah, she dragged me here. I wanted to continue my fitness. I had been bodybuilding. I prefer a team aspect. I think that's really what everybody will say. So, started the classes, fell in love with it, enjoyed it, still here. Couple skills later.
Which skills are those?
Double unders.
Toe to bar. You did toe to bar.
I can toe to bar in singles. I have double unders, and I can do wall walks. And go upside down. I couldn't go upside down for the first 3 months.
I remember I was scared to work.
I was terrified.
I think I remember that.
Yeah. Everyone's like, kick up. I was like, hey.
So we started with somersaults. And
yeah.
I think we did somersaults. We had that gymnastics mat out.
Because I wouldn't go upside down, and we did the gymnastics course together.
Now, I have a follow-up question about CrossFit with this. Have you ever And it kind of ties into the third one. Have you ever cried in work?
I have only one time.
we were talking about it the other day.
It was I'd come to noon class back when Corey did. Well, it's back to your regular schedule. It's the 5, 6, 7, 8:30 and noon.
That's what I do now.
Yeah, 7:07 at work. I'd come to noon class. I'd class at 2:30, so I was just gonna hang here for a little bit longer. And Corey was like, "Okay, let's do this descending rest bike calorie workout." I was like, "Okay." He was like, "If it's just gonna be you, I'm just gonna stand here and watch you do it."
Bryce and I had already done it.
Yeah.
Earlier that day.
Yeah. And so
I didn't just watch.
it was like, if anybody wants to try at home, I think I did it on an Echo bike. It was like a minute to complete your calories and then a minute rest.
So it's like an opposite. There's like every other EMOM.
Yeah, and the calories went up by 2. So the first minute was 2 calories, easy, but you had to sprint them. So 2 calories, you're done in like 10 seconds. 4, 6. I remember I finished 14 at like 58 seconds.
Was it 14? I can't remember if it was 14 or 16.
And Corey was like, "All right, you've got a minute and you're going to hit 16. And I was like, "You're coming." I was so mad. And I remember sitting on the bike and being at like 11 at 45 seconds and just like starting to cry because Corey would stand on the edge of the bike and he was right here. He was like, "Come on, push, you're like so close." And I was like,
It doesn't really make us look good.
Mel and I were talking about it yesterday.
It's so bad.
I don't even know how.
I've definitely teared up when I've been like frustrated. I don't think I've ever really cried. Sometimes like if I'm on my period, because I'm a woman and that happens.
What?
Sometimes like when we're snatching and everything, my snatch is ugly. I know it's ugly and I need all the criticism ever. But sometimes it all feels, I'm sure every athlete feels this way, but it feels pointed. It's not pointed, it never is. They're never attacking you for how your form looks, but sometimes it feels that way. So I've definitely teared up before.
My daughter really struggles with that.
Yeah.
Like if someone gives you like feedback, like, "Hey, try doing this," like it feels.
And then it's like more feedback, and then there's more feedback after that, and you just are like, well, like I just can't do anything right. Maybe you can't hit a weight too. So. But yeah.
I think
that's about it though. I remember my heart rate wouldn't drop after the bike workout. I texted you. I was sitting in class and still on my watch, my heart rate was reading like 150. I was like, it's been like 45 minutes.
Almost got that.
It's bad.
What about you?
So I started 2012, I think. So I'd already had my daughter, but we didn't have my son yet. I started because I saw basically CrossFit Games women on ESPN2. At the time, I was doing Gold's Gym in the morning, bodybuilding, P90X at night with my wife. And, thought I was fit. I saw these just amazing women doing these amazing things. And I was like, I don't know what that's called, but I want to get involved. And of course, what is CrossFit, yada, yada, yada. And that probably would have been the end of it. But then we lived in Austin, Texas at the time, and we had a zip code, like, newsletter flyer that got delivered.
Like an ad sheet.
Yeah. And it was Brody Park CrossFit. Hey, we're opening. Join us for our WOD on Saturday. And they had a soft opening, but this was like their whatever opening. Yeah. And it was, it was close. So I was like, all right, I'll go check it out. And I went and just absolutely destroyed it. The only thing I really remember is there was wall balls.
Well,
the rough first time.
Yeah.
Was pretty easy.
And I still hate the movement. I think that happens with a lot of people.
Like the first workout,
Yeah.
like the little PTSD from it.
Yeah. And I tell the story that I finished last. I don't actually know that I finished last. I was in good shape. And this is one of those things, like once you start the workout, you don't know who else scaled or if they scaled, or I don't even remember if I scaled. I probably didn't. I probably had too much ego at the time. I got done. I was like, I like this. This is awesome. And they're like, yeah, come back every Saturday. It's free. I was like, all right, bet. Go home. Soreness starts kicking in. I'm struggling to walk. I'm exhausted. Tell my wife. I think we have gardening the next day, and like I just couldn't. I couldn't move. It's not like I wanted to garden, so it's not like I was really fighting hard to be able to get it in. And I was just like, I'm so sore. And she's like, oh, I'm sorry that's not for you. And I'm like, oh no, I love it.
It's definitely for me.
It's definitely for me, and I'm gonna find a way. Like I was full fledged wanting to join, and if I remember the price right, again back in 2012, it was like $160, $180 a month.
And you're like, holy cow.
And I think I made like $38,000 a year in Austin. I didn't have the money.
Right.
And I was like, hey, like, and they didn't have the systems that they did now to be able to price and adjust things and accommodate people the way we do. And so it was very closed off. It was just like, hey, it's this or it's nothing. And I was like, well, I guess I'm just going to keep coming on Saturday for free. They did a Groupon and launched a CrossFit class, which is like kickboxing and bodyweight CrossFit movements. And I think that came in at like $40 for a month. I was like, yeah, I'm going to do that. So I did. And about that time, I got a raise and joined, had our second kid, switched to a home gym, lost my way. Never really belonged to another gym, traveled and would drop in places, but no consistency, and eventually fell off and then restarted really when I opened the gym here. I kind of started for about 6 months, again, just using my home gym before that. So I tell people, right, I've been doing CrossFit for 10 or 11 years, but realistically, it's been since I opened the gym.
Consistently.
Yeah. So, you?
My first like official. So we had a gym that closed down here, but they did like a soft launch too, and they offered free classes for like the first month or something. So basically, what I was doing was very similar to CrossFit. I like trained and ran Spartan races, so there were a lot of burpees, a lot of body weight movements, a lot of like running into deadlifts and pull-ups and things like that. Never the Olympic lifts, never officially CrossFit. Didn't really have anyone coaching me. So I went to this gym when they were offering free classes, and I tried it and I liked it. But kind of same as you, I found out the membership rate, and I was like, well, there's no way I can do that. And then another gym here in town was opening, and they were looking for a coach. And I kind of wanted to find something different from my current position. So I applied there. And the owner said, before I hire you, you're just going to have to come do classes for a few months to get to know the members and the movements and kind of learn, which I did. And my first official CrossFit workout at that gym was 17.1.
Really?
Yeah,
okay.
the snatches and Joe's favorite workout. And I think I used like a 20-inch box and maybe a 30-pound dumbbell. And the cap was 20, and I think I might have made it to the round of 30. Yeah. And like, God, I was like, holy cow, like this is way different than what I thought. I thought I was doing CrossFit, but I wasn't.
And we definitely hear that a lot.
Yeah.
And it's definitely really obvious. And so when we see this, we're not judging. No. We were told that we did CrossFit. Everybody tells you do CrossFit.
Well, and I Googled, like, so at my old gym, before I started doing CrossFit, I wanted to do hard workouts. Yeah. Like, I kind of got bored with bodybuilding, so I was like, man, I want harder workouts. So I would Google, like, hardest CrossFit workouts. And I would do them. And I was like, oh, yeah, I'm doing well, I wouldn't do any of the ones with Olympic lifting. So I'd, like, pick and choose. Like, I remember, like, Filthy 50 doesn't have Olympic movements I work out. So I did it, but it took me, like, an hour. Because I would take rest, so I was like, oh yeah, I totally do CrossFit. And then the more I continued, the more I was like, oh, I was not doing CrossFit, man. It wrecked me. And really, kind of like Piper, like I never played a sport growing up, but or I guess outside of high school, I kind of got into basketball and got a little more competitive. So like having.
They played a sport the entire time.
Oh yeah, so no, I didn't. But for me, like the team aspect and like having someone to compete against was what kind of kept me coming back.
That is true.
If you guys,
I like the team aspect, but I used to hate the partner wads. I like them now.
I like partner wads.
I don't even know that I like being with other people. I think I just like the hurt.
Yeah.
Which is weird because I stay shy of the hurt now.
That
I've gotten into my comfort zone of 80%, but it was such a shock to my system.
Yeah.
That I loved it, and I think again that's the whole point behind the Redline week is like, hey, let's shake some things up. You've gotten a little comfortable.
Yeah. And I mean we all have. Like I know like for a couple of the open workouts, like I got in that pain cave and I kind of dialed back again. Like we all get in that same rut of we get comfortable. So it's a good time to push out of that.
I think that's why CrossFit attracts people is because like swim for me, there's always something to get better at. You can always drop time. Like that's how track works. That kind of thing. You can always jump higher and pole vault, etc. But it's like there's really kind of a bigger plateau. There's a plateau here, obviously, but in unilateral movements like bodybuilding, etc., there's a big plateau. And so the draw here is that you're really bad when you start, and you're really bad at a lot of things. So it's like, yeah, it hurts and it's good, and you know that it hurts, and you see muscle growth, and you're like, damn, I'm getting fit. That's exactly how I say it to myself in the mirror. But there's a lot of more things to work on, and you don't ever really stop working on things. You hit a ring muscle up, but then the goal is to be able to hit 5, and then 10, and then
they're backwards.
Yeah, butterfly. Yeah. Be able to do them well under fatigue.
There's never like a good enough.
Yeah.
I mean,
so I think that's a big job too.
And I think that hitting on that is like, yeah, there's more plateaus, but there's also more areas to attack them and to reach through. Like you never fully plateaued in one thing, right? Like maybe you're plateaued at your ring muscle ups for a little bit, but we can still be making progress someplace else, and then you're going to see that progress there. Suddenly, now all these ring muscle ups are good, or easier, and
we've talked about that a billion different times and explained it. That like, for me to get better at ring muscle ups, I don't have to just sit there and do ring muscle ups. Like if I can get stronger at a pull up and I can get stronger at a bench press, that's going to carry over into ring muscle ups.
Honestly, if you get a higher clean or higher snatch, you're figuring out how to activate and use your glutes more.
It's all
you change your cycle time on a GHD. Can do more volume there. Right now, you're going to be able to do more ring muscle ups. The kipping ones, at least. You've got more core strength and stability.
Functional fitness.
Fitness is so functional.
Yeah, every single movement, we can correlate some other movement in the gym, and not just one aspect of it, but multiple, and that's what makes it functional fitness is the carryover. One other thing you were talking about is that you got started in, you were doing Spartan races and stuff like that, and I subscribed to a lot of newsletters, and one of them was talking about how fitness racing is becoming a new thing, and that their spin was that it's going to help increase retention in gyms and stuff like that, because you'll see people go to these cardio gyms, right, with their goal of doing 5Ks and stuff like that and all these fun runs. There really hasn't been fun CrossFit runs or fun fitness runs. There's been harder competitions, but this is kind of like a middle ground for, I don't want to say competitions are for everybody, because they are, but I think they also, just the word competition,
they're a little intimidating.
Sounds intimidating, whereas fitness racing doesn't.
Yeah, kind of make it more of like a.
And so, like I think like CrossFit Unstoppable did one, and there's like 10 stations, and you run, achieve a target.
Almost like like Spartan Deca.
Yeah,
or something like
I think it's Deca.
Oh, did they run it at Unstoppable?
I think they did. They invited us, and we didn't. I didn't even understand what it was at the time when they invited us. They were early adopters, and then like High Rocks.
Yeah, High Rocks.
I was kind of doing that.
I told my brother he would love High Rocks because it's a lot of running.
Yeah.
Deca, I know Spartan offers a ton of different programs, and some of them have like running, and some of them have stations.
Yeah. And so just those brands growing, they're going to create their own audience of people that want to win, and then they're going to need to come to us for their training, because Deca, Spartan, High Rocks don't actually have training centers, and so far they haven't shown that they want to get into like a brick and mortar
facility.
They just want to run their races.
Well,
And so that just, again, brain synergy or training synergy, it allows for you to express what you're doing in here in a new and interesting way that hopefully will start appealing and attracting more people in to our gyms and our methods because they do work. But sometimes finding a way to express the hard work that you do here in a fun way is limited.
Yeah, we do get a little
and I mean, what we actually achieve in here is expressed every single day in everything we do.
Right.
But I think we can lose sight of that without this extra little thing. Yeah. So I'm excited about it. I know I'll definitely be checking it out. Looking to participate.
This summer. I know we have a member or two looking into some Tough Mudders. I know you love.
I did the Tough Mudder. I was just bored.
Yeah.
It's just running.
It is.
So yeah, I think they have a short course now.
And they had a short course when I did it. I'll be honest. We were trying to get a group of people here going. People didn't end up showing up on time. It was me and Grace that showed up to do the run together, and I literally showed up and thought it was like 3 miles in 24 hours.
Well, it was like 10, wasn't it?
It was 13 miles.
Woo, buddy.
I never ran more than 1 mile. So we did the first little bit together, and it was like a buddy carry. Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God.
And it was like a buddy carry and all this other stuff. And Grace stayed with me for a little bit, and then Grace is a runner. And so she started taking off, but she couldn't hit the obstacles.
So you catch her.
So I catch her. And I'd help her through the obstacles, and then she'd take off again. Through the obstacles, she'd take off again. We both finished at like exactly the same time. We did skip one obstacle, the like human pyramid crawl up wall, because it was like an hour-long wait and nothing about 500 muddy people standing on top of me to get to the top of this was appealing.
Yeah.
So we skipped it. Say whatever you want about that. And we were passing people who are running there like, what time was your heat? I was like, I don't know. I don't remember what it was. And they're like, we started 4 hours before you.
Oh my God.
And I was like, y'all are slow. I'm not even a runner, but I ran the whole thing. I didn't stop, run. I jogged the whole thing.
Canter.
Yeah, it's because you get the obstacles.
Yeah, and it was like, it was just enough of a carrot to keep moving.
Yeah.
Remember we had our post-race beers. My wife and kids had left because I was like, I thought it was a 3-hour thing.
Right.
So they had planned for it to be a 3-hour thing. And it ended up actually being around that time because I ran past it. And I thought, I was like, this is going to take forever to run 13 miles. So they went home, and Grace agreed to drive me back. We stopped at Wendy's. I got some chicken nuggets, and then I was out. She was like, you snored so loud for the entire. She was like, I tried shaking the car. I tried cranking up the music. I rolled the windows down.
Oh, that's so passive aggressive. She'll just.
She was straight up being aggressive. But I was so dead to the world from that 13-mile run that it didn't matter. It was funny. So good times. All right, we went way over. We answered one question.
One question. So tune in next time for the one more question.
Like and subscribe.
It'll take us 6 years to answer.